Hi folks, here we are this afternoon again in the Camp Wounded Dog Workshop Test Kitchen. The folks at Caswell came up with an idea. They were thinking about making a smaller kit that would be more lantern size. Their tank sealer is great for motorcycles and cars, but it's an awfully big kit. So we chatted about maybe doing a lantern size. Lance suggested maybe a 6-ounce kit. I told him I'll do a quick liquid test and see if that'll do it. So here we go. I'm not actually going to use the tank sealer. The closest thing that comes to the viscosity of tank sealer when it's mixed is cold molasses. It's thick and it's just about perfect as far as, look at that, this is going to take an hour. It's just about the correct viscosity. It also has the same amount of cling. See how it clings to the sides? The same amount of cling as the regular Caswell sealer does. I should have filled this up before the video started. This might take like an hour. Alright, this is a half-pint mason jar. 6 ounces is right up to this line. So what we're going to do is take 6 ounces mixed. And if you used Caswell before, you know that you lose a certain amount of product because of viscosity. It sticks to your container. So we're trying to do a real accurate test here on that. The crash test dummy that we're using is an AGM font, and most of you that have done restorations know that these guys habitually have stress cracks. So this is most likely the type of font you'd be using. Okay, there we go. 6. What we're going to do is, and this is going to take another hour for it to go in, we're going to pour the molasses into the font, and then we're going to rotate the font just like you would if you had sealer. You're putting sealer in. I know this is kind of taking a while, but you folks that have used this sealer know what a great product it is. And when it dries, it's when it cures, it's absolutely bulletproof. So I always suggest if you got any internal threads in a font, plug them up good so that your resin doesn't get caught in there. Okay, so out of 6 ounces of mixed resin, we're probably going to get about 5 3/4 ounces of resin that we can actually pour out of our mixing container. There's a certain amount of resin loss. Now you can, get in there with a popsicle stick and scrape it off and get a little more, but you better be wearing gloves, because if it gets on your fingers, it's going to take about 2 weeks to get it off. Alright, see, we're just about in. I've used Caswell stuff for over 13 years. Okay, there we go. It's in the font. So then you just slowly rotate the font. You saw how long it takes to pour in there? That kind of gives you an idea of how slowly you need to rotate your font to get good internal coverage. This stuff will actually even seal fairly decent sized pinholes. If you got a pinhole in the bottom, put masking tape over it as you fill it, and then after it cures you can take the masking tape off and the tank sealer will actually bridge across the hole. I'm not talking about like dime size holes, I'm talking about pinholes. But this stuff has saved a lot of lanterns. And I think the Caswell folks are starting to recognize how the lantern community uses so many of their products, and we're kind of thinking about maybe they're going to, come up with the smaller kit specifically for lantern guys. Alright, so I'm just about rotated all the way around. And whoa, look at that stuff. Alright. There we are. I'm going to turn it upside down to get the top of the font. and then lay it flat to get the bottom so the resin spreads across the bottom evenly. I'm going to let it sit for, I don't know, 45 seconds, a minute. Then we're going to pour it out and see how much resin is left. You can see in the jar how the molasses, the viscosity clings to that. Tank sealer clings even better. You get a much bigger deposit. Alright, so here we go. What this test is all about is to see actually how much sealer it would take to seal an average size font. I'm kind of guessing that maybe 6 ounces, which is what Lance suggested as a possible amount, would be enough to do an entire font, and then maybe the bottom of another font. So that's a real usable size. You know, they'll come up with a price that's user friendly. So okay, there we go. All right, so what about this? Well, we got about 3 ounces left. So a 6-ounce kit would be enough to do 2 lanterns. When you mix this stuff, proportion is critical. You got to get it exactly right or it doesn't cure quickly. So if you get a smaller 6-ounce kit, be prepared to do 2 lanterns, and it's gonna save you a lot of money, and it's cool. All right, thanks Caswell for thinking about this. You guys are great. Bye bye.